This is my worst nightmare at a bar. Somebody pitching me an animated TV show or a movie, and what is Joe doing? That exact nightmare on this podcast. I'm so pissed.
Hello and welcome to May the Review Be With You with Nick and Joe. I'm Joe.
I'm Nick.
And today is the second episode of Put It On Your List. It's a game that Nick and I have adapted from real life when you encounter people who force you into a conversation about that show or movie that you just have to watch. Today, we're going to force each other to put something, a show or a movie, on our list. So, of course, one of us will approach the other with whatever it is that we insist that the other one will watch. We'll get a quick pitch on how to do that, and then we'll get to ask each other some questions about whether or not this is actually worth our time to put this on our list. But before we get into all of that, Nick, how you doing today?
Great. Excited. I love these. These are some of my favorite episodes we do. Because you're always Joe's always pitching something crazy. Joe's always got something crazy. It's like...
Yeah, it's the ADHD ideas, man. It's like a conveyor belt. Does he follow through on any of them? That's why Nick is here, to make sure that he commits to at least some of them. Thank you for that, Nick.
You're welcome.
But before we get into Put It On Your List, let's go into the news of this week coming out of TV and film. First up on the docket, we want to address really some sad news from earlier this week. Film icon and thespian Maggie Smith passed away. Really, really terrible to hear that. Maggie Smith, probably most notable from her role of bringing Professor Minerva McGonagall to life on screen throughout the Harry Potter franchise. Nick, I know you caught that news. I think you caught that news actually earlier than I did. How were you feeling once you found out?
Super bummed, super sad.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, so that's a tough one for everybody. But so it goes, unfortunately.
So it goes, and as a true thespian would say, the show must go on. Someone earlier. This week when that news came out, I was talking to, I think put it best. She was everyone's grandma while the Harry Potter franchise was coming out. And I think that's a really sweet way to put that. If you haven't caught up on either Daniel Radcliffe's or Emma Watson's eulogies of her, be sure to look those up. They're really sweet, a really amazing send-off, and just wands up for Maggie Smith, a true film icon. As the show goes on, looking at other film news from this week, let's talk about the James Gunn universe, because there was some big headlines coming out. The last time we did this episode of Put It On Your List, we actually talked about Lanterns, and we have some news on Lanterns. We were speculating about who was going to get the job of Hal Jordan, and we have an answer. It's Kyle Chandler. Kyle Chandler is Hal Jordan, the guy from Friday Night Lights. It's him. He's gonna don the jumpsuit, and he's gonna jump in a jet. He's gonna wear the ring. Nick, how are we feeling?
I have no idea where they're going with this. It's like totally shocking to me. Like, Kyle Chandler is like awesome. He's played some really fun, like, cool roles. Like, of course, coaching Friday Night Lights. Like, that's a pretty iconic thing, right? It seems so strange to me because he's like 59 years old. So are we getting like an older Hal Jordan then, I guess, like, storyline? Like, that must be where they're going, unless they're going to CGI make him younger. I don't know why they would do that, but DC's done plenty of things that I don't know why they did recently, in the last 10 years. So who knows? Benefit of the doubt working here because it's James Gunn's universe now. So we'll see how it goes.
It is a weird choice. I mean, as far as like trying to bring stardom to the role, it's a weird choice because, like, I mean, we keep bringing it up. Friday Night Lights, easily the most iconic thing that he has on his resume. Maybe it's not your favorite thing that you've seen him in. If you have a movie or a TV show that you absolutely loved him in that we haven't named, Super 8 would probably be the first thing that I think of. But I wouldn't say he was a major role in that. Yeah. Tell us what it is, because like this is kind of a mystery to me. Like, again, what was that? Late 90s, early 2000s? Friday Night Lights?
Early, yeah, so I think it's 2000s.
Yeah, it feels like we're very far removed from like the peak of his stardom and like his ability to like bring in a crowd.
Well, he also, the crowd thing's a good point. He was also the FBI agent though in Wolf of Wall Street, which was an awesome role. So
that is true.
That's
but if you were going to the Wolf of Wall Street for Kyle Chandler's character,
yeah, that's true.
Please let us know and why. I really would love to know why.
That's a good point.
The only speculation I have on this, Nick, as to why they're doing this, like it, he's a seasoned actor, right? But I think you brought up a really great point. They purposely want to go with like an older Hal Jordan, and I think the reason for it is so we know that this show is supposed to be like a true detective sort of show, right? And they even have a true detective writer on it. They have Tom King, who's a Batman comic book writer, and then Damian Lindelof, who is the Lost writer. So like they clearly want to create a mystique or mysterious like type of show. And I think if Hal Jordan is just starting out as a Green Lantern, maybe he can bring like his military experience, like he has he's a seasoned military detective, right, or something, like being a jet pilot or something, or he's a seasoned Green Lantern, right? It's one of those two things. That's what they're trying to do here,
right?
Either way, I'm surprisingly more excited for this show than I thought I would be. We got one other bit of news that came out of that. From that announcement, we found out that they are trying to cast John Jones, who is the second Green Lantern, to show up in the franchise. And we actually have two names that are coming out of this: Aaron Pierre and Stefan James. Aaron Pierre getting a lot of notoriety right now for Rebel Ridge, which I have not seen that yet, but apparently I have to. Apparently I have to put that on my list, is what I'm learning. Mufasa is coming out later this year. He's playing young Mufasa. That wasn't a movie I was really planning on watching, but that's really awesome that he's the star of that. Stefan James, if Beale Street Could Talk, Selma, Clue the TV show, he's got actually surprisingly like, I feel like he's been a quiet actor with a surprisingly like well-studded resume. So I'm not sure who I'd prefer to see here, but if the tides of crowd power are bringing anyone around, I feel like it might be Aaron Pierre right now, because apparently he's really hot in Hollywood right now. We'll see. Last thing, at least for DC stuff, there was a short little announcement about DC villains, some kind of DC villains project that James Gunn is designing with two characters that they're trying to cast right now, Deathstroke and Bane, being part of this project. Not sure what they're going for here. Not sure if this is supposed to be like a Suicide Squad thing, or just like, truthfully, I don't know. I don't know what we're going for here.
We shall see.
I was born in it, molded by it.
I've always really loved Deathstroke.
Same.
Yeah, more media love for Deathstroke. That is great. And I guess to segue actually into our next headline perfectly, the Marvel equivalent of Deathstroke, Nick.
Deadpool and Wolverine. Deadpool and Wolverine streaming October 1st. Just catch me watching that repeatedly for about 3 weeks and nothing else. So look out for that. And
I have been waiting. I've been waiting to hear this news for a long time.
Me too.
I haven't had time to go to the movie theater to watch this again, but I really want to watch this again.
I know. I can't wait. It's going to be glorious. And to segue to the world of dinosaurs, Jurassic World Rebirth.
What?
Yeah, I know. Jurassic World Rebirth has wrapped filming. That's coming out in 2025. More Jurassic Park stuff. We love those stories. I think the previous trilogy probably ended slightly flat, but we'll see what happens here with the Rebirth, which is, I guess, not a working title. So anyway, Scarlett Johansson's in it, so it should be hopefully good.
I didn't know that. We love Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, ScarJo. ScarJo.
Who doesn't love ScarJo?
I'm gonna watch it, so we'll see.
I'm unfortunately gonna watch it, Nick. I don't like Jurassic. The Jurassic franchise is one of those franchises that like I don't think is good. I actually think it sucks. And it will always pull me in because Jurassic Park remains like one of my favorite movies, and then B, like my favorite book of all time. So like they kind of have me forever, unfortunately.
Right. Yeah, there's something about like the first movies in those two trilogies now. Like the first ones are really good. Like they're awesome. And then it just like tails off as they continue the storyline, It's Well, actually, I don't know if that's true. The original trilogy, the second one's bad, but the third one, it kind of picks back up a little bit. I don't know.
Thank you, Nick. Thank
We're
you.
not gonna-
You and I are in the minority on this.
Nah,
Apparently, a
it's-
lot of people don't like the third movie, and maybe I'm just comparing like, a recycling bin to hot garbage with 3 and 2. But I like the third movie. Just give me more Alan Grant any day.
Yeah,
You know,
the third movie is way better than the second one. The second one is hot garbage.
hot garbage. God, it's bad.
Anyway,
I don't mind Jurassic World. Jurassic World is at least very fun.
Yeah.
I have my problems with it, but it's a fun movie. It's a good popcorn, go to the movie theater
yeah.
film. 2 and 3, holy crap.
Listen,
Isn't that what? That's what. Oh my God. Jeff Goldblum, Ian Malcolm. What does he say? Like when they're in the Triceratops poo.
That is one big pile of shit.
That's what Fallen Kingdom and whatever the third one is. Dominion. Best part of Dominion was having the original 3 characters back together. That was fun.
Yeah,
That was nice. They got the nostalgia feels out of me there. Well played. But for now, to close out our movie headlines, we would be remiss in not bringing up the fact that Francis Ford Coppola's project, 40 years in the making, Megalopolis, I can't even say it. That's finally premiered. Metalocalypse. That's a good show.
Yeah.
Megalopolis has premiered this week to less than stellar reviews.
See, I didn't even know. I didn't even know it came out. I had no idea it was in theaters. Well, that's
I really haven't heard
tough.
a lot of people talking about it, which is, it's funny, actually. I heard more people talking about the viral campaign from a couple weeks ago when I forgot who was bringing out the advertisement, but like it almost seems like they were purposely trying to get ahead of the bad reviews on this movie.
Right.
Because they were bringing up like his other projects. They were like, all the reviews on The Godfather said it was terrible. All the reviews on Apocalypse Now said it was garbage. But those are film classics that you hold dearly to this day. And like everyone attacked this campaign and they were like, nobody said that. Nobody said that about those films. You're lying.
Well, that's probably one we'll just wait till it comes out on streaming, I guess, based on how that's gone. So,
hey, I will say this: I've heard just very briefly from 2 reviews that Aubrey Plaza apparently is like just awesome in this movie, which
nice.
That's not really that surprising because she's awesome in everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently we get to see a little bit more of her acting chops, other than what she's mostly known for, probably Parks and Rec. As far as that character goes, right, April. But yeah, so I don't know. Best of luck to Francis Ford Coppola and the film. Maybe they were right. Maybe the film reviews are unfair. We'll be the judge of that when we get to it. But for now, I think it is time we get to the nuts and bolts of today's episode. Put it on your list.
Dun-dun-dun.
Dun, 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 dun. So, as we discussed last time, or earlier in this podcast, Nick and I are going to take turns on pitching a show or a movie to each other. On the docket for today, we have Over the Garden Wall and Kate and Leopold. So, last time, when we were trying to figure out who was going to go first, Nick just asserted himself forward and decided that he should pitch.
Well, that is happening
Nick,
again
because
I am going first, sir. Here we go.
There it is. There it is. I offered you an olive branch here.
Until you bring a coin to flip, I will be going first, sir.
Damn. All right. You know what? Good job. Good job. I deserve that. Yeah, I will.
Today?
Yeah, I will. I don't know. Does a poker chip count? I don't even know why I have this. I have a poker chip. I don't play poker.
Well, it doesn't, and it won't today. So here we go.
It's the same on either side, so it wouldn't even work.
Just like two-faced die. Take a little, just cross out one side with a pen. Okay, so without further ado, it's my turn.
Pitch me your show or movie.
I today am pitching the movie called Kate and Leopold. This is the Hugh Jackman movie that you and your friends have not seen. Came out in, I believe, 2001 timeframe. It is both comedy, romantic comedy, and my favorite and your favorite, a time travel film. This is a Hugh Jackman time travel film directed by James Mangold.
Oh crap. Okay.
Yeah, now that got your attention because
Yeah, it
for
did.
those of
Yeah,
you who
it
are
did.
wondering, this is the same James who directed X-Men Origins Wolverine, Logan, recently Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, as well as Ford versus Ferrari. And he's got like a stellar list of other things that he's directed. But this is like, he directed this movie and worked on the screenplay. The movie also stars Meg Ryan, Liv Schreiber, Bradley Whitford from The West Wing is in this movie. So I know this is very intriguing for you, Joe. Anyway, as I said, this movie's about time travel. It's a time travel film. Joe and I love time travel. We have our whole separate time travel draft that we've been doing for the last year, which you can check out on our YouTube channel. And yeah, I don't want to give too much away, but essentially Hugh Jackman plays a duke from 1876 who finds himself in 21st century New York, where he meets a girl, Meg Ryan's character. And the way that he gets there, the time travel aspect of this film is gravitational time portal. The gravitational time portal. And I actually love the explanation of like the time travel science of this film. And so this is a must watch. You got to put it on your list. It's fun and like a little ridiculous, of course, because like, you know, we're talking about time travel, but that's why it's great. Kate and Leopold.
All right, let me go ahead and say it. This already doesn't even seem fair because, like, we're probably going to have to put this on the time travel list for season 2 of our time travel series.
Yes.
So cheater. You already got me there, but I guess I'll play the game and ask 3 questions anyway. Nick, what would you say is what would you say is the hook of this movie? Like, what hooked you in?
How weird Hugh Jackman's character is because he's from 1876. So like, and like pretty quickly he's in 21st century New York, but he's dressed like he's from 1876 the whole time. So it looks like he's just doing like a Broadway play the whole movie because he's completely out of place. And it's like fantastic. That's the hook. It's just Hugh Jackman basically doing like a Broadway play like in 21st century New York, like at like normal interactions. It's ridiculous.
So is it all right? So second question. So is it more drama or is it more comedy? Because it sounds like it's silly too.
Are you suggesting, madam, there exists a law compelling gentlemen to lay hold of canine bowel movements?
I'm suggesting you pick the poop up now.
He thinks he's a duke. Yes.
Oh, it's more comedy. It's more comedy. Yeah, there's some drama in there, which is why it's like it's really cool. But it's more comedy, at least for me.
What would you say is the weakest part about the film?
The weakest part is really like the storyline as far as it being a time travel film and just the sheer like ridiculousness of everything that happens essentially with how he gets there to the 21st century. Even though like it is explained very well from a time travel perspective, overall you're just like, this is like insane. Like what is going on? So I don't know if it's like necessarily weak, but it just make the whole film you're kind of a little bit like thrown off because of how strange the whole concept is.
Well, I'm in. I mean, I'm in. Of course, I'm in.
Yeah, you're in, dude. I had you at time travel, Hugh Jackman film.
James Marigold, Hugh Jackman. It's time travel. Time travel's my Achilles heel.
Yeah,
and we're gonna put it on our time travel list anyway. But it sounds like actually I should make time to watch this sooner than next year.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I kind of want to watch it tonight.
Last I checked, it was on HBO. I think it's still on HBO. So
that's a good call out, by the way. We should definitely make that a point of this podcast when we name shows.
Yeah,
where you can stream it.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we can get some money from HBO when we start doing that. Just let that hang there.
Yeah.
Max executive who's listening to us, just
What's
consider it.
what's your third question?
Oh no, that wasn't my third. But if you're giving me a fourth,
Oh no, that we're good.
no, I'm in. I seriously, I'm in. That's you know how to speak to me, Nick. I absolutely do want to watch this movie. You actually told me about it. I think like a couple months ago. Yep. You were watching it and you were like, you texted me and you were like, you gotta watch this movie. And like then and there, like it already sounded interesting. But I mean, getting into it now, it sounds like it's actually kind of like a perfect film for me. A time travel movie that actually goes out of its way to explain time travel and then not take itself too seriously and just be fun. It sounds fun.
1000%. That's
all
it.
right, I'm in.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Admittedly, I am pitching something that's going to be a bit harder here.
Yeah. Typical.
So typical. You know what? Go for the big swings. Is what I'm all about. All right. Go for the. You might miss, but man, it's gonna be spectacular when you do. Okay. So Nick, what I am pitching to you is once again another animated show.
Jesus.
Which, yeah, if you missed the first episode, Nick has told us animation isn't necessarily his thing.
It's not
but
my
it
thing.
can be. It's not his
Hardly
thing.
ever is my thing. And the first two, Joe is pitching me animated stuff. Like, this is crazy. This is my worst nightmare at a bar. Somebody pitching me an animated TV show or a movie. And what is Joe doing? That exact nightmare on this podcast. I'm so pissed. This is so ridiculous.
Yeah, can you give us like some exceptions to the rule? Like some animations that you're like, all right, no, I mean like I would mess with that.
Dragon Ball Z, Yu-Gi-Oh, Zoids, Yu Yu Hakusho. That's the list. Moving on.
All right, so anime from the early 2000s.
Yes.
This is going to be a hard pitch. All right. Okay, so Nick, let me go ahead and first off start by saying I am that friend that will take my friends and assault them with TV shows or movies that they have never heard of and don't want to see. And sometimes that does not work out, which that's fine, right? Big swings. I have never missed with Over the Garden Wall.
Oh.
I have made people who don't care about animation whatsoever just sit down and watch it, and they walk away loving it. It is, I don't think I'm remiss in saying, Over the Garden Wall is a masterpiece. It came out in 2013. It's 10 episodes. Each episode is 10 minutes long. And it is astonishing the amount of character development and story that is worked into 10 minutes in 10 episodes. It is phenomenal. I'm getting goosebumps honestly thinking about it. It is such a great show. And the reason why I'm pitching it to you, Nick, is because I watch it every year at around this time. It is the perfect fall Halloween thing to put on. It is equal parts funny and mysterious. What Over the Garden Wall is, it's about two brothers who get lost in the woods. They're two young brothers. One's like a young teenager. The other is like a younger child. And they're both a little goofy. And one seems to understand that they are in a very strange and dangerous place. The other is just pure comedy gold and is just a goofy little kid who just doesn't either understand or care that they are probably in peril. The best thing I could compare what Over the Garden Wall is a fun version of Dante's Inferno. It is just two brothers just trying to go home, and every episode is just another like stage of the forest that they are trapped in, or I should say, the unknown. The forest is referred to the unknown, and the deeper they go into the unknown, the more dangerous it becomes. However, it is always a good time. It is always fun. But I will tell you, there are two moments in this show that always reduce me like at least to like one tier. Like it gets one tier out of me because man, this show knows how to punch you. It is very fun. Star-studded cast. Elijah Wood is the main character. John Cleese plays multiple roles in this miniseries. Christopher Lloyd is also a huge character in this miniseries. I really cannot recommend a story more than I can recommend Over the Garden Wall. It is a masterclass in how to tell a short story very quickly.
All right. Can't believe I'm saying this. Might have to add it to my animated list that still has not really been.
We have a special
started.
animated list.
Yeah, we do, and I might actually move this above Delicious in Dungeon, which is what you pitched to me last time.
would.
But I think I'm going to move this up above it because you had me. I was getting ready to throw the book at you, but then you said 10 episodes, 10 minutes each, and I was like, you know what? That is doable. That is doable.
It's very digestible,
and it sounds fun. Yeah, Elijah Wood, Christopher Lloyd, John Cleese, like that's pretty freaking fantastic cast for an animated show. Over the Garden Wall. Okay, it's on the list, Joe. It's on the list.
We're not even asking 3 questions. Nick's just in.
No, it's on the list. I'm going to ask you 3 questions. Maybe 3 questions. One of those is
Okay.
what was like the main hook for you when you first saw this? Like how quick did it take for you to be like, "Oh, I'm in"? Is it like 5 minutes in? Is it episode 3? What's my commitment to get the hook?
So it's the first episode, probably.
Great.
Because like I think the first episode does an amazing job in telling you everything you need to know about what the next 9 episodes are going to be like.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's like I said, it sets the stage very quickly for all the principal characters who are going to be involved, and then it sets like that very like creepy mystique that's like hanging in the air, and like you don't quite understand what's going on. But then also just having a great sense of humor. It's just
nice.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. It's just very fun.
Awesome. And then my other question is, if there's a reason that I would not continue watching this after the second episode, what would it be?
Oh, interesting. If there was a reason not to watch it. Okay, so for you specifically, I think I don't know if you would click with the character of Greg. Greg is the younger brother. And Greg, like I said, Greg is just pure comedy because he either doesn't understand or doesn't care about the situation that they are in. And because of that, he's supposed to be the annoying little brother, right? So you personally, I could see you like seeing this character in the first episode and being like, that's stupid. But
That's
Greg
fair.
is worth it because Greg really is the GOAT. Like, he is the GOAT. Like, you get to the end, you're like, this kid rules.
Okay.
If I could compare him, I don't know if you've seen this. If I could compare him to a character, you've definitely seen the meme. The Babadook, which is celebrating 10 years, congratulations, on being a staple in the horror franchise. The child in the Babadook in the first half of the movie is played off as the worst, most annoying child in all of the... This is actually too mean for Greg. This is way too mean. But the transformation is similar. He's played off as the worst child of all time, but then like you get past the halfway point of that movie and you're like, this is the best child of all time. I wouldn't say he starts at that bottom. I actually loved him very quickly. But as you progress through the series, you're like, this is the best character in this show.
All right. I mean, it's intriguing. And then my third question is, where can I watch this?
Great question. I believe it is on Netflix. If not, no, I'm sorry. It's actually on Hulu.
Okay.
It is on Hulu right now.
All right. So Disney
Yeah.
Plus. If you got the
So
package.
Disney Plus.
There you go.
Yeah. Actually, that's where I've been seeing it because, Disney's, showing off all of its, like, Halloween stuff. And, Over the Garden Wall is on there.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Nick, let me just say, like, as a final note here, it's not just one of my favorite animations of all time. It might be one of my favorite stories of all time. It's that good.
Wow. Okay. All right. Big statement from G.
Yes, that is our list. Hopefully those make your list. If they do, let us know. And if there's anything that should be on our list that's on yours, let us know in the comments. We want to hear. We're always looking for new stuff to watch or to read about, so please let us know. As for May the Review Be With You, we're done with our lists today, but next episode, we'll be covering the finale of the Season 2 Rings of Power, covering the entire series as far as the review, but of course, most notably, the finale. Very much looking forward to that. But if you want to talk to us as soon as that episode premieres later this week, Nick, where can the people do that?
All right. So please, you can always follow us here on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Give us a like and on the episode here if you enjoyed it. And then in other places, we're always on Threads, having conversations about what's going on weekly in the movie and TV world. And you can find us on Instagram as well. That's at May the Review Be With You. And until next time,
May the review be with you.
peace.